Hey everyone, what up? This is Anime with Prince. We are going to talk about Naruto in particular. We are going to talk about the strength of the fourth Raikage, how strong, how fast he is. This is going to be a very small video because I'm just going to mainly to display strength, debunk some things like him being weaker than pain arc characters. I'm going to just tell you on what level he is, not exactly tell you who who he can beat, who he cannot beat, but you should get an idea of it by my explanation. So he scales to base B as they seem to be equal in speed in their lariat, but B just physically overpowers him, so B scales above him. Not to mention this point B has a sword, Samehada. He can just absorb chakra, so he can just put him away from his lightning cloak. So however you say it, whatever you say it, B is above this Raikage, but he still scales to him in speed. So Raikage in his second lightning armor is still relative to B in speed. This same B can keep up with a post Raikage scuffle Naruto, KCM1 Naruto, of course. So a post Raikage scuffle KCM Naruto is very fast. Of course, he in just one of his clones was able to fight the third Raikage, who the fourth Raikage believed was not stronger than him, by which I mean the fourth Raikage believed that he could defeat the third Raikage, or at least that's what seems, or at least he could give a fight to him. So not to mention the fourth Raikage is a rival to the Jinchuriki, perfect Jinchuriki B. Now B of course surpasses him in his base, but previously they were considered rivals, and then they probably didn't spar with each other when they're adults. The cells that we see in Shippuden and War Arc, and the Raikage was thought that he was stronger. He just didn't see how strong B was, but before that they probably were comparable, and this was at the time he was probably, so he's still probably stronger than the tailed beast 8 tails, whereas the third Raikage is relative. They are pretty much equal, so the fourth Raikage is probably stronger than him. He thinks he can take him down. The Naruto clone was relative to, if not faster than him in speed. I think he's faster than him in speed, and so he's faster, and the real Naruto, though relative, would still be faster than this clone, so he's equal to or above A speed, and he's also stated to be way above his Sage Mode self, as stated previously. Of course, in full speed he just blitzes the Raikage. He's above B, he's above the Raikage in speed, no doubt about that, and it's full. But he doesn't stay in full speed always, because in full speed he's 2 to 3 times faster to potentially 50 to an insane 72 times faster than the Raikage. So you can already imagine how much above he was than B, but yet B could keep up with him. This same B was not holding back in his lariat. If people think there is no reason to believe he wanted to show how strong he was, so he was probably not holding back. And if he was not holding back, then Naruto technically should be 72 times faster than him, which would make no sense. Then they were side by side, equal in speed, which would mean that Naruto doesn't always go in full speed, which makes sense since he was just constantly increasing his speed in the fight with the Raikage. So post that fight, he's relative to or above the Raikage, so which would automatically make the Raikage faster than the pain arc characters. So he's faster than the pain arc characters, pain arc Naruto. He's faster than him. He's obviously physically probably stronger than him. Yeah, that would make sense. He's probably stronger than him, as he can harm and contend with this Naruto in physical strength. And this Naruto is again way above his like pain arc self, even like in his sage mode, his base form is stronger. It can contend with like a base Sasuke. They did like relatively similar base Naruto and base Sasuke. So like, and this base Sasuke is like quite strong, should be quite strong, at least equal to like his self, which like defeated Orochimaru, of course his base self, not CS2, but like this war arc base self would be at least like on par with, if not far stronger than the version of the base self which defeated Orochimaru. He's potentially in his base form stronger than like his version which absorbed Orochimaru, Hebi Sasuke. Like this Sasuke is potentially probably stronger than that version, which would make sense since base Naruto did get stronger in the Kakuzu fight, like through Rasen Shuriken training, and he had a QB amp, and this base Naruto is still probably stronger than that one. Like he's still probably stronger. So, and the Kakuzu, since he like trained with the sages and all physically trained, so like he's stronger than that one. That Naruto of course had the QB amp and all, but then in the war arc he got like a war amp, like everyone got that. So he's still stronger. Then his sage mode would of course be stronger. He has better mastery of it, and he's just physically stronger in his base. And this Naruto needed like the reaction speed, meaning he like his normals, which was amped by like prediction. So his like normal speed, this sage mode Naruto's would be below the Raikage, and this Raikage is relative to or below the fourth Raikage. This is the third Raikage, so like the fourth Raikage is above this. So he's above the speed of KCM. He's above the speed of not KCM Naruto, like Sage Mode Naruto from Pain Arc, relative to or above the reaction speed of the War Arc Sage Naruto. I guess he's possibly beyond that Naruto. Like his speed is probably faster than his dad. He was described as the strongest, the greatest Raikage. So his speed is like probably faster than his dad's, whose speed, like combat speed, is around the reaction speed, if not below the reaction speed. Yeah, I think it's below, right? Yeah, it's like below the reaction speed of Sage Mode Naruto, like amped up reactions, of course. So yeah, wait a minute, but his like KCM has worse reaction, so I guess that wouldn't really make sense. His KCM should be faster. So I guess we can just say like Sage Mode is like beyond the reaction speed is beyond the fourth Raikage, third Raikage, both. It's like beyond both of them, but then but still he would still be like, that's still pretty impressive. So like yeah, fourth Raikage is above. His physical strength is compared to Tsunade, like it's still below, even with like getting amped from Onoki. He's still below the physical strength of Tsunade, but he's still physically the strongest next to Tsunade in the 5 Kage, of course. So like he's still pretty strong. He's like more durable than Tsunade, but Tsunade via healing is superior to him. And this is, by the way, not base Tsunade. This is like released Tsunade when she releases her seal, Yin seal. So like this is above base. So he's like beyond Sanin level, amped Sanin level, above Jiraiya, above Sage Mode Naruto, and relative to like Sage Mode Naruto from the war. Oh yeah, I just thought of something. Like he could be this reaction speed of like that Sage Naruto, that was just a clone. So like real body Naruto would of course be faster, and this Naruto, so it would still be fine if he's faster than a clone of Naruto. Yeah, that would actually make sense. So clone of Naruto has like in Sage Mode has better reaction than his KCM self. This fourth Raikage is like relative to that, potentially above. So like they are relative reaction speed and his combat speed, and I guess travel speed potentially. I don't know about that. So like it's relative. Yeah, I guess his combat speed could also be relative. I guess it's possible. So but still, like, they are relative, and then the main body one is above that. Yeah, that makes sense. So I think you have got a good idea of how strong he is as compared to the pain arc characters and as compared to the war arc characters. Like, he's on the 5 Kage level. Of course, all the 5 Kage are relative. Onoki and Tsunade are the like strongest. Onoki with his particle style just is a beast, a monster. Like, he's strong as insanely hell. Of course, below the Baruto era characters, the Baruto era is just an insane power creep. For people who are confused why Raikage is this strong, War Arc had a power creep. Like, just like how Baruto has a power creep, War Arc has a power creep from like Pain Arc. So it actually makes sense. And that's why Kisame is the strongest. Like, Kisame is the strongest Akatsuki member, but that's out of context here. That doesn't, I mean, not out of context, out of the topic, but yeah. So he's split Raikage above the Pain Arc characters relative to clones of Naruto above his father. He is like relative to base B, below base B, and this is base B without his sword as he was not using it. So he's relative to B.